I need to talk about this John Morant situation because I think there's a lot of blame to go around for the state of John Morant's relationship with the Memphis Grizzlies organization. John Morant, who has been interestingly non-vocal when it comes to issues that he's had, and his instruction to the media to quote go ask management essentially got him suspended for one game. Now, if you want to look at the grand total or the grand scope of John Morant's play this season, Jesus loves you. It has looked like there has been a disconnect between him and, I'm not going to say the organization, but just the game. He hasn't played well. It doesn't look like he's been aggressive. It doesn't look like the John Morant that we know him to be. He has been far from that. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion from a lot of the people, the media pundits that I've heard, some of the things that I've seen. I'm going to give you my opinion. Obviously, I don't know John Morant. I don't know anybody in the Grizzlies organization. So all of this is my opinion. I believe that John Morant was a fan of Taylor Jenkins. Maybe not a fan of Taylor Jenkins as the person, but a fan of Taylor Jenkins as the basketball coach. As he was a fan of the offensive, defensive schemes that Taylor Jenkins drew up. And I think you can see that because the coach right now for the Memphis Grizzlies was the assistant coach for Taylor Jenkins. Or was a assistant coach for Taylor Jenkins, and he's a Euro person. He's a Euro coach. And when you look at a lot of his rotations, when you look at a lot of his schemes, when you look at a lot of his plays, they are very Eurocentric. Now, that would not be an issue if it were a Euro team. What he likes to do is he'll have John Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr. play 3-4 minute intervals and then get pulled out for 5-6 minutes. That's not an issue in EuroLeague because, it's that the league is a little closer to each other as far as talent-wise in the NBA. But that doesn't work in the NBA. In the NBA, you need time to develop a rhythm. You need time to develop your shot. You need time on the floor to get in the groove of the game. When you're playing somebody for 3-4 minutes and then pull them, you're unable to do that. So I was so confused as to why John Morant looked so bad, so disinterested early on in this season. It makes perfect sense now. They said that he got suspended for using words detrimental to the team. Or the direct quote was actions detrimental to the team. Which, and people are speculating that he had a back and forth or he had a disagreement with the head coach or coaching staff. I understand completely, especially if the coaching staff is essentially hindering you from playing your best or being your best or getting yourself into a rhythm. I said this once they fired Taylor Jenkins. One, they should not have fired Taylor Jenkins, but two, you have to make sure that the person that, especially when you have a superstar/star on the team, you have to make sure that they can gel with that play. They have to make sure that whoever you're bringing in is able to get the best out of your best player. And it seems like the coach for this team has not been able to do that. And John Morant sees that. Jaren Jackson Jr. sees that, which is why I think Draymond Green even said it seems like there's a silent protest going on in Memphis right now. Which is why I don't think that John Morant's going to be there much longer. Especially when you see his interactions with the media, getting suspended, then his interaction with the media again. It just doesn't seem like John Morant is long for Memphis. I knew, again, actions speak louder than words. You can say that you're trying to compete, but when you trade your second/third best player, or the player that's also been there the most consistent due to John Morant being injured and Jaren Jackson Jr. being injured and Desmond Bane, when you trade him, that tells you all you need to know. And I think Mark Spears was saying that John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. were also available, but teams didn't want to handle that, take on that contract, and off the field or off the court issues. It's just a lot that John Morant should not have to go through, but that's just what's going through. Again, I just do not believe John Morant is going to be in Memphis much longer, because it just seems like the coach that they hired and John Morant are not on the same page. Now, John Morant does have some responsibility in all this. A lot of people don't understand what the word professionalism means. On top of that, a lot of people don't know how to be professional. While I agree with a lot of the assumptions that I have as to why John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies aren't seeing eye to eye right now, I also believe that John Morant has been very unprofessional in this whole situation. I believe that John Morant has to be better, because this isn't his final. I don't believe this is his final stop. And again, if you go back to what Mark Spears said, there's a lot of teams that's watching this interaction play out. There's a lot of teams that also know, actually every team also knows about the off-court things that's going on with John Morant. It's like, you don't want your actions to burn bridges that you don't know are there yet. You don't want your actions to ruin relationships that you don't know that you need right now. And I'm not saying just shut up and take it, but what I'm saying is be professional about it. Yeah, I understand you may not like the coaching team, and people clearly know how good John Morant is because we've seen it. But just go out there and play the best that you can, and then, just keep it moving. Don't air out your grievances, which he essentially didn't do, but don't air out your grievances publicly. It seems like, from what Mark Spears and all the insiders in the NBA are saying, Memphis is headed towards a fire sale. And John Morant is probably the prized possession of that. But I would just say he has shown a bit of unprofessionalism in this entire situation. From going back and forth with the media, talking about go ask the coaching staff, and that's what the coaching staff told you, right? Like, let's not, come on. These people, the media has a job to do as well. Whether you agree with it or not, they're on the clock. They're doing their job just like you're doing your job on the basketball court. Again, let's not burn bridges that you don't know you need yet. But I do understand where the frustration in Memphis, moreover, John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., I understand where their frustration is coming from. I just wish that they'd act on a little more professionally. And if, because again, this is all speculation, if they are doing a silent protest, it's not hard to see. It's not hard to see that you're not engaged. It's not hard to see that you're not really trying to be a part of the situation when you're doing a wheel route or a wheel play, which is essentially pass and moving, and John Morant passes the ball and then he stands there. Or John Morant would take 2 dribbles, highly contested, and still shoot the ball. Or the one superpower that John Morant has, his explosiveness and being able to get to the rim, he very rarely and very seldomly has done that early in the season. Like, come on, we can see that, bro. But we'll see, man. I think that this is a very tumultuous situation. And I don't think John Morant is long for Memphis. Just like I think Memphis doesn't, at least at this point, I think their best bet is to get off of John Morant. But we'll see. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.